Good evening and welcome to Gay Newsbreak. I'm John Beebe.
And I'm Dorinda Boswell.
Well, here on the Metro, you couldn't play it in your own home without fear police might come knocking on your door. The Tin Drum, an Oscar award-winning film, is rattling Oklahoma's law books once again. A federal judge said Tuesday the film is not child pornography. The decision overrules one local judge who said the film violated state laws. At one point, police even pulled rental copies from the Metro homes. This latest ruling from a federal judge is a victory, especially for video stores. Bob Nealon, an attorney for the video stores, asked the federal judge to clarify what the law says about the Tin Drum. Oklahoma County District Attorney Bob Macy believed the film was pornographic. In a ruling filed Tuesday, Judge Ralph Thompson wrote, "The theme of the film, taken as a whole, is not sexual, and because the film is a serious artistic work, it does not violate state law. If anyone were worried that renting the film would expose them to a criminal charge, now it is not a crime to watch this film." Now, the decision to view or not to view the Tin Drum, however, is up to you. OCAF, Oklahomans for Children and Families, filed a motion to argue the decision. However, their motion was denied. Dorinda?
Thank you. Last week I reported to you of the vigil that was held here in Oklahoma City for Matthew Shepard, who died as a victim to a hate crime. Since news of Shepard's beating, vigils have been held nationwide. On October 20th in New York City, a rally started as a vigil of about 200 people outside the Plaza Hotel in Manhattan. The crowd grew to several thousand people who began marching down Fifth Avenue in protest. Mayor Rudolph Giuliano said, "It's a worthy cause. I can understand why they are so outraged and so upset." Karen Engler, one of the organizers, said that the vigil was to honor the life of Matthew Shepard, but to also speak out against homophobia and to urge gays and lesbians to come out of the closet.
Local contestants are traveling this week to Little Rock, Arkansas for a few October reminders here for the Miss Gay America pageant. We want to wish the best of luck to Rochelle Lee, Miss Gay Oklahoma, Bridget Lee, the first alternate to Miss Gay Oklahoma, and Taylor Bryans, Miss Gay Mid-America. Preliminary competition runs tonight through Saturday with finals on Sunday night when the new Miss Gay America will be crowned at Discovery. And also, coming up soon, the AIDS Walk will take place this Sunday, October 25th, and is expected to draw thousands of walkers and supporters from across the state. It will take place at the Myriad Botanical Gardens, located downtown at the corner of Reno and Sheridan. At 1 p.m., the opening ceremonies are slated to begin, followed by the actual walk at 2 p.m. And of course, the annual Halloween party themed Cartoon Calamity, an animated Halloween, will take place this Saturday, October 24th, from 8 p.m. to midnight in Leadership Square, which is located at 21 West Robinson in downtown Oklahoma City. Now, there'll be a $500 cash prize awarded for the best overall costume, also provided free drinks, food, and an evening of dance. Tickets are $30 in advance or $40 at the door. Now, half the ticket price is tax deductible, and the event is sponsored by Off AIDS, a nonprofit organization formerly known as DIFA. And Dorinda, you can get those tickets, I believe, at Jungle Red, at Disguise Costumes, I believe New Leaf Florist, and many other places.
Great.
And that's going to be one fun party.
Oh, it will be a lot of fun.
We also want to mention that there is going to be a fundraiser at the High-Low at 9 o'clock this Saturday. And also Angles is having a fundraiser tonight for the AIDS Walk, which is going to be at 10:30. And the Copa had a fundraiser last night.
Yes, they did.
Heard that was a success.
Apparently, yes. And what they did that night was they had the waiters and waitresses from Gushers, the Finish Line, and Copa all kind of did a reversal drag.
Wonderful.
It's called Employee Turnabout. So, and I know there's a big group from Diversity Coffee Shop going down to the AIDS Walk. I know.
Great. Well, we hope all of you all can get out there
there
and join them and help support CarePoint, as very important to the community. I also wanted to let all of you know that this Time magazine is going to be coming out on stands. I don't know what camera we're on, and we're on 2 here. That it believes it comes out on Monday, and so all of you that do have an opportunity to see it, it is The War Over Gays, and it's really pretty much primarily deals with a lot of gay issues in here, and we really ask that you all pick this up and read it through. I've been reading some of it before we started the news this evening, and there's just a lot of incredible articles, and so we hope you pick this up. Well, we have Chuck here with some interesting news. Chuck, how are you?
I'm great. It's good to be back. I've been busy the last couple of weeks, but I'm sure glad to be back.
Well, glad to have you back.
Everybody. Well, it seems that Jodie Foster may join Julia Roberts as Hollywood's two highest paid actresses. If negotiations go well for Foster, she will receive a record figure of $15 million for her new movie, Anna and the King. Based on the story about the relationship between the King of Siam and the 19th century British schoolteacher Anna Leon Owens, the film may start shooting in Thailand as early as this January. The movie is expected to be released in the year 2000. And amid continued protest and threats of violence, Terrence McNally's new play, Corpus Christi, finally opened, but to primarily cold reviews. The play, which centers around a Christ-like figure who is gay, was originally canceled because of protests from religious groups. After its opening, a New York Times reporter, Ben Brantley, called the play a minor work from a major playwright that probably would have come and gone quietly had it not been for all the negative attention it received. Just like the movie The Last Temptation of Christ, McNally's new play will undoubtedly receive a much larger audience due to all the publicity. Well, it seems that sometimes the religious right helps to slit its own throat with its gregarious outbursts. Perhaps they need to learn when to put up or shut up. Thank you.
We will be right back with Ricky Staten doing our
Entertainment news.
entertainment news.
Stay
Thank
with
you.
us.
I didn't understand my girlfriends growing up. I'm in love, and it was a different guy every 3 weeks. I didn't understand that. I don't look back and regret ever not sleeping with someone. I know on the long run I'm going to be much better off.
Respect yourself, protect yourself.
They fired her?
Yes.
But that isn't fair.
No, it isn't.
It isn't legal.
Yes, it is.
In 41 of our 50 states, a person can be fired just for being lesbian, gay, or bisexual with no legal recourse. Most Americans don't know that.
Betty?
Is there anything we can do?
Call the Human Rights Campaign toll-free at 1-888-4HRC-1997. Anti-gay job discrimination drives us apart. Americans want solutions that bring us together.
Fortunately, many Americans have found a way to respond to HIV.
You got a friend that's got AIDS.
What? They're shooting up? You think that's the only way
They're
people
educating their employees,
The issue here is education. AIDS is growing fast.
their communities,
in small towns.
especially their friends and their families.
Last year I found out that I have HIV.
If we're going to prevent the spread of HIV, each and every one of us must do our part. Find out how you can help prevent HIV. Call 1-800-342-AIDS.
Well, welcome back. And again, we have Ricky Staten with our entertainment news. And Ricky, I understand Elton John is turning down an award.
Right. My first story is about Elton John.
Interesting.
Last week, Elton John declined an award from the United Nations. UN Secretary General Kofi Annan had planned a ceremony at which the title Messenger of Peace was to have been given to Elton John. The day before the award, however, John asked that the ceremony be postponed indefinitely. According to his spokesperson, John decided he could not commit the necessary time for the UN assignment. The title was intended to honor his work on HIV and AIDS. The UN had hoped that John's presence would help highlight the work of its Geneva-based AIDS tracking agency. For the past 24 years, New York City's Greenwich Village has hosted an annual Halloween parade. This year, however, a public hearing was held so residents of the neighborhood could voice their opposition. It seems some in the community want the parade canceled or at least moved out of the neighborhood. In the past, the event has attracted as many as 1.5 million spectators. Some residents complained about the excessive drinking and rowdiness. Even the openly gay city councilman who represents the village had asked Mayor Rudy Giuliani to cancel or move the event. The Chamber of Commerce naturally wants the parade to continue unchanged. Even the police department believes the event is manageable. Ultimately, final approval, though, rests with the mayor.
That's amazing. This is in New York.
And could you imagine if 1.5 million people descended on your neighborhood?
Oh, how
so I'm sure
overwhelming.
it's hard for them to deal with, but this would be the 25th year of the parade, and I just can't imagine that they're not going to have it.
And why now say something about it, especially the revenue it puts into that community.
Right. That's why the Chamber of Commerce is wanting it to go on as planned.
Well, obviously, they're prepared for it, so.
And the police say there's no problem. So I thought that was interesting.
Should be interesting to see what happens, Ricky. Thank you very much. We'll be right back with some closing comments, so stay with. Oh, pardon me. We'll be right back with Inside Out. Stay with us.
Advising people how to move Congress is very easy. Getting them to follow the advice is very hard, and I get frustrated by that. I want gay men and lesbians to take the National Rifle Association as their model, or maybe the American Association of Retired Persons. Those two organizations have a great deal of influence, and you can agree or disagree with the NRA's agenda. That doesn't affect your view of how effective their methods are. You write to members of Congress and you call them, and you don't write to anybody whose name you see in the paper. You write to your representative and your senator. Members of the House and of the Senate listen to their constituents. Not 100% of the time, not on every issue, but one of the biggest impacts on us is what the constituents say. I think things are getting better. Prejudice is somewhat on the defensive, but it's got a lot of kick left. And the key will be to the gay men and lesbians and the people who love us and care for us care more about ending bigotry than the bigots care about perpetuating it. If you ask the average member of Congress today, he or she has heard more from the bigots who want to perpetuate the bigotry than from those of us who want to oppose it. And until and unless we have enough determination and discipline to reverse that, because I think we have the numbers, if we don't mobilize them, then we're not going to win.
The Employment Non-Discrimination Act, ENDA, would protect gays and lesbians from being fired, from being denied employment, from being discriminated against on the job, from being paid less for doing the same job based solely on one's sexual orientation. Contact your senators and representatives and tell them to support ENDA. Get your family and friends to do the same. This is Pat Schroeder. I was one of the original co-sponsors of ENDA. Every morning, Congress opens with the Pledge of Allegiance saying liberty and justice for all. And then they work all day to keep hate alive. Remember, liberty and justice for all. What part of all don't we understand?
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Ricky Staten. Tonight we're going to spend a few minutes talking to Kay Holliday and David Holliday, her son, about the AIDS Walk happening this Sunday, October 25th. Welcome.
Thanks.
Well, I bet you're ready for it to be over.
I am ready for it to be here, and it's going to be smashing. It's going to be a great day, and yes, I'll be really happy when 6 o'clock Sunday comes around.
I know you will. I will be too. I've been involved this year, but not near to the extent that you have been. So why don't you introduce us to your son?
This is my son, David.
So you brought him in from Los Angeles to help out.
I did, and it didn't cost the benefit a dime. Mom bought the airline tickets.
That's great. David, what role are you going to have at the
let's see. I guess you could say I'm going to be the MC of the afternoon. Walk kicks off at 2 o'clock. Prior to that, leading up to the opening ceremonies, we'll have Harvey and the Wallbangers at about, I think it's
12:15.
12:15, excuse me. And the mile will go really fast for some folks, and so they've set up a slate of vocalists and some musical groups to start it right at 2:30. So there'll be something going on from 2:30 on for a couple hours at the water stage with myself and Catholic. Let's see, what do I have here? The Catholic Cantors Consortium, Peter Krause and Lisa Tercy, a good friend of ours, Capra Nu Rakem, and a Canadian singer, Glenn Sully, and then the Metro Men's Chorus, led by Don Clothier.
Are you also performing?
Finish up, and I'll also do a little 20-minute babble or sing-along or something.
So you're a vocalist?
Yes.
Great,
yeah.
Great. How do you think the turnout's going to be?
We're anticipating 1,000, 2,000, whatever.
Well, you know, we talked when we started this whole process about 6 or 8 months ago. We set a goal of $50,000. I don't know if you remember this, and we said we were going to try to get $25,000 in corporate sponsorships and $25,000 in individual contributions. And we said that really only equates to 250 people raising $100 apiece. Well, I know that a lot of people I know are well over $100, and I'm just getting a feel it's going to be a lot bigger than that.
I am really having high expectations. We've had people call and send in money, people that we didn't even know, and are supportive of the AIDS community. We had a CarePoint client who walked in my office one day and had a fistful of checks and cash. It was $500, and he said, I just sent the brochure to on my Christmas card list, and this is what I got back, and he's still out there raising money. It's just great.
So we're gonna start registration at noon.
At noon, yes.
So, and people are expected to bring their money with them. I wanted to clarify that if you haven't already pre-registered and turned your money over, you're expected to bring your money with you, and we don't have, the AIDS Walk Committee has no responsibility in collecting your donations for you.
That's correct, yeah. We want to be able to announce some kind of ballpark tally about 3:45 from the water stage so that people will catch the enthusiasm of how much we've raised, and if they're not pleased with the tally, they can open their checkbooks and write another check.
Well, let's discuss the Bricktown Ballpark. You and I both went and visited the Bricktown Ballpark last week because we had hoped that they were going to allow us to walk the bases as part of the route, and that's not going to happen.
Right.
But at least tell us what is going to happen.
Well, Brad Tamman with the Oklahoma Red Hawks at the Bricktown Ballpark has agreed to let us come in home plate and walk the concourse and then exit out section 103 where the Mickey Mantle statue is. And that will give folks a chance to really get a good look at the ballpark, and we think that'll be a nice little zigzag in our route.
Well, and depending on the weather, too, that will be a shaded part of the walk, and we're going to have a water station set up there, so they'll be able to get a bottle of water to help them complete the rest of the route. How do you think the bombing memorial on Sunday is going to affect our walk?
The most profound impact it's going to have is that it's going to take all away our police escorts, and we've already been told that we won't have police escorts, and they have been wonderful, though, to work with us and let all their police units know to try to divert traffic from the bombing memorial to the north rather than sending it our way. So I think that will be the main thing, but we can walk in the streets, and we'll be okay.
To go back to what motivated you to want to participate with the AIDS Walk this year?
That happened, gosh, over about a year ago when the AIDS Coalition came to CarePoint, and the Oasis Foundation was not able to do the AIDS Walk again. And so the AIDS Coalition came to the CarePoint board and asked if we would be the managing agency, because it takes quite a bit of energy and organization to get something like this accomplished. And the board said yes, certainly, that the community needed the AIDS Walk back. And so we committed to do that, and at the time I was serving on the board of directors and agreed to be the co-chair, along with Pat Capra, who had just come here from Dallas. And she's been a wonderful co-chair, and so that's how that got started.
I think you both have done a really great job. I've been involved with fundraising at different levels here in town, and you just amaze me at how organized you are, and you just keep the ball rolling, and you're great at following up, and you know, when you promise to do something, you make sure you call us and ask us if we actually did it.
Crack that whip.
What about this committee, too, that's just all put together?
The committee is just dynamite.
20 of them. I sat in on the meeting the other day, and you people are
very
gangbusters.
Energetic.
There's
very
a lot of great people.
Everybody's got a glint in their eye, and just
a lot of people have worked long and hard. I know
sure
my motivation was, I've never really been involved with the AIDS Walk because I've always had to tie in with the DIFA and the Halloween party, which always ends up being the night before the walk, and so it's never been, I've never dedicated myself to walk on Sunday. So this year, when I heard that there was a chance that we were going to lose the walk, I really wanted to participate and do whatever I could.
Yeah, we appreciate you being on the committee. You know, it's interesting that when we were choosing a date for the walk, we considered the DIFA, at the time it was called DIFA, Halloween party, and we just knew it was going to be on Halloween, which is be the week afterwards. And sure enough, it's the night before again. Right. So,
well, I just wanted to make a note that, especially since this is Gay News Break, and AIDS has just devastated the gay community, and I just challenge everyone out there that if you're not walking, which I hope that you are, you need to at least be sponsoring somebody, because you cannot be a gay person today and not be affected by this illness. And to make this a true success, I think it has to be a crossover event, and that's where I think this walk really can shine and be a huge success. So I'm excited about Sunday, and I'm willing to get the grand total.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Well, thanks for coming down. And once again, I'm wearing the official T-shirt for this year, and the T-shirts are available for $15 at the walk.
Designed by Harold's.
Designed by the Harold's graphics artist. So thanks for coming down and spending some time with us, and we hope to see you out at the walk this Sunday. Now stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
I've taught my kids just the way my mama taught me. She gave me a strong sense about what's right. She called it mother wit. Even as young as my kids are, they know their way around. And they're well aware I can draw the line if I have to. But with AIDS out there, I'm going to have to dig a little deeper and talk a little longer about drugs, sex, and AIDS.
We can help you talk about AIDS. For a free guide, call 1-800-342-AIDS.
Well, as you're all aware, Alan has announced he's HIV positive. He's okay, but does anybody know what he's going through? What do our people think? We need to get on this. Shirley, do we have an employee policy? Are we required to set one up? Kurt, is he covered by our insurance plan? Okay, Ellen, as his manager, is he entitled to extra time off?
At least 1 in 10 businesses has had an employee with HIV.
John. Terry?
If you have a business, you need answers.
How can we help? Anybody? Anybody at all?
Call for this manager's kit and help keep your workplace healthy and productive.
It's awfully quiet in here.
Hi, y'all boys ready to order?
I think I'll have the burger special.
We don't serve your kind in here.
What did you say?
I said we don't serve your kind in here. Y'all are just gonna have to leave.
You people know you're not welcome here. We don't serve homosexuals.
Well, this is going to be a very big weekend for the gay community, and we really hope that all of you can come out and go to the Halloween party that's going to be Saturday evening at 8 o'clock at Leadership Square, and then go to the AIDS Walk the next afternoon. We all are wearing our AIDS Walk T-shirts.
Yes.
Very nice. Yeah, I'll tell you what, these are really beautifully designed, and again, they're $15, and we hope all of you all will come out and like Ricky said earlier, we're all in this together. We all need to come out and show our support and come to the party on Saturday night for the Halloween party, and then go out to the AIDS Walk and walk your mile. I also wanted to make a comment that our own weather girl, Ginger Lamar, will be emceeing the Best Costume Contest. Now that ought to be interesting.
Of course she is.
And it's always interesting to see what Ginger's going to wear to the Halloween party. You can just not imagine what's.
She will be a knockout, or she'll knock somebody down, I'm sure.
I also want to congratulate again our new Mr. Gay All-American Richard Greer, who was Mr. Spirit here, who won from the Oklahoma City area, and he will be appearing in Little Rock, Arkansas at the Miss Gay America pageant this weekend. Very proud of him, and our best wishes to him as well.
And if you don't make it to the Halloween party, be sure and go to Hilo and have a martini at their fundraiser for the walk.
They were voted best martinis by the Oklahoma Gazette. They can't beat that.
They're one of the major sponsors of the AIDS Walk, too.
Fantastic. Well, again, we hope to see all of you out this weekend, and we're going to, at the end of the show, we ask that everybody, if you can, please call in on our talkback line. We welcome your comments, and pay attention to the community bulletin board. And at the end of the show, you'll see a picture of the T-shirt for the AIDS Walk that we're all wearing right now. Again, we appreciate you being with us, and we look forward to seeing you next week, and have a great weekend. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.